I'm here today with Farhad Abasov. He's the CEO and president for Allana Potash. How are you today, Farhad?
Very good. Thank you very much, Trace. How are you doing?
I'm great. I was just looking at our news this morning, and we're weighted heavily towards the Uralkali story. I just wanted to know what your thoughts were overall on how that's impacting the general potash market and you personally.
Tracy, thank you. Yeah, that news was a big news, I think, a few weeks ago, and it still continues impacting the entire sector. If you look at the history of those two companies, you will see that they've been together first, and then they, fell apart, and then they came back again under the BPC umbrella, which was the marketing organization through which they were selling. And now Uralkali has decided again to depart, and all of the consequences that we've seen. Now, the main impact of this, of course, is expected and now already happening potash price decline, because Uralkali made it very public that they want to actually abandon price over volume strategy. Now, long term, I think, frankly, it's not a sustainable strategy. They will probably come back to the way that they've been adhering to for a long time, just like Canadian companies. But in the short term, we're seeing some impact, some negative impact, of course, on the potash prices and consequently on the entire sector. As you know, on the day of announcement, most of the potash companies actually have fallen in value.
In spite of the Uralkali news, I've noticed that Allana Potash really hasn't been affected. Can you tell us why?
Allana has a unique proposition, as you know, as far as its project in Dalol in Ethiopia is concerned, and we have unique advantages. Despite this quite negative consequence of this Uralkali news, we've done quite well because people started looking into actual fundamentals of the projects throughout the entire sector. Before, there was a lot of speculative sentiment in the sector, depending on the location, depending on potential size of the project, and so forth. But after the news, people realized, okay, the margins will most likely be squeezed, at least in the short term, so you have to look at the projects that have strong fundamentals, strong economics. And as you know, we can actually compete with our project, not only with almost all of the greenfield potash operations, but also with some high-cost producers today.
Recently, you put out some very exciting news about project financing. Why don't you just tell us all about it? I mean, you've got debt and equity financing lined up, yes?
Tracy, you're right. We put out a very, very positive news on lender process, on project financing or debt process. What we've done in the last several months has been working very closely with elite group of multilateral financing organizations, or they're also known as development financing institutions and Exim banks. Because we're in Ethiopia, because we're in agricultural business and potash business, we've decided that we are going to target a specific group of lenders to provide project financing to our project. And the last several months that has culminated now, the work that we've done in the last several months has culminated in this mandate letters that we've signed with probably the most prestigious organizations out of West Europe, North America, and Africa. And they have agreed to continue the process to the point where they're committed to providing 65%, up to 65% of the project financing or debt to Allana. Now, obviously, the process is still on. They still need to do further due diligence, and we're working on all of those aspects with this group of lenders, but we're extremely pleased with the support that they've provided to us, especially considering that the support came after the Uralkali news.
So overall to date, you've raised what, 90 million?
Close to 90 million, actually a little bit over $90 million.
It's my understanding that Allana will be the first potash producer in Africa. Is this correct?
Yes, that's what we're aiming for, Tracy. We are one of the most advanced projects in Africa, not only in East Africa, but in entire Africa. Right now, there is no potash production on the entire continent. So we're hoping that if everything is on track, including our financing plans and, of course, construction after that, we will be able to become the first producer on the African continent.
One of the hottest buzz terms online right now is food security. So you are looking forward to being the first producer in Africa. Can you tell me what other benchmarks we should look forward to seeing Allana achieve in this upcoming year?
Yes, Tracy, in the next few weeks and months, actually, we have very, very important and significant milestones to be achieved. One is we're working on mining permit, and we've been working very closely with the Ministry of Mines in Ethiopia as well as with other ministries in the country. And we're hoping that in the next few weeks we'll be able actually to secure a mining permit, which is obviously a very important milestone for us. In addition, in parallel to all these processes, we've been working on financing, not only on the debt process, but also, of course, on equity and we've been working very close with our existing strategic shareholders as well as new strategics or potential strategic shareholders, or investors, I should say. So that process is going forward extremely well. We're very pleased with the pace and the progress. Again, despite all the turbulence in the sector, we're pushing forward the entire process. Also, I want to say that on the technical side, we've been working very hard. As you know, as you approach pre-construction period, you have to make sure that you have the right people, and you also choose or select the right EPCM contractor. Basically, we have to have the right people to build this project, and we have to have the right people to manage the project. So we've been working also on selecting the right person, right candidate for the Chief Operating Officer position, and we've actually advanced our EPCM selection process. Very large, very well-known engineering companies have already applied for that, and we're going through the selection process, and we're hoping that by the end of October, we'll actually make a decision on who the EPCM contractor for Allana's project will be.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today, Farhad.
Thank you very much, Tracy. It's a pleasure to be here.